We're in there. I'm in there like swimwear. Anyway, that's been the phrase, I guess, for the past few days. So, hello everyone. Hi, and welcome to this channel. It's me. It's me. I don't know how to say it is. Está me. Está yo. I don't know. Anyway, so I guess today's just gonna be a little talky. Again, I don't have any cards, but I do have apps on my phone. Actually, I have this Astro Matrix app where I can get 3 cards from the Astro Matrix Tarot. And I have the Rock Pool Oracle. I think on my iPad. I should have like the Kawaii, but anyway. If I want to pull cards, I'll pull cards. Anyway, today is just more talky than anything. Excuse me. What else? Let me pull up the Rock Pool Oracle. So I've still been thinking about that last read that I did because I feel like no matter what, I mean, especially in those 2 broken videos, when I was just trying to like record real quick, I feel like there was something with that Knight of Wands, Hanuman, that I didn't quite capture, and that's interesting because I feel like it was face down. I feel like it came out face down, and then I turned it face up, and everything else came out face up. But anyway, because it's the Knight of Wands, it is also about like enjoyment, right? Um, like enjoying life, but also like the devotion of Hanuman. And I kind of talked about it last time in the metaphor of like when we are end focused, when we're focused more on the destination than the journey, it becomes easy to overlook certain things like our margin of oversight. There's a seagull. There's 2 seagulls. I wish I could show you. They just like chill. I'll take a picture on my phone and then I'll show you. So whenever I'm here, I go to the balcony. It's a little colder, so I'm not outside. But I go to the balcony or I stand near a window. Sometimes I sing to them. Cause that's me singing to the seagulls. See? They're like right outside the window. Little gulls, little seagulls. And I wonder if they're like the same ones, you know? But anyway. Oh, that one's kind of big. Like that one's a little bigger than usual. I've never noticed the like checker stripe on the tail. Anyway, so also with like, because again, it was like major strength discarded itself. Minor strength, or pre-strength was Hanuman and the Knight of Wands. Minor strength was the Seven of Wands, and it got the full High Priestess. But the thing with devotion to, especially like devotion to the journey rather than devotion to the destination, is that the devoted one does things that others might think themselves like too good for, which plays also into the page 2.0. The page is willing to do things that the king and queen aren't, in all of their like member of royalty does not conduct themselves in such a way, does not do this kind of work, doesn't do whatever. It's like it's too good, it's too proud. But that devoted Hanuman energy will like get their hands dirty if they need to for the sake of getting towards whatever. And again, like the message and the noise were so close that I feel like it's just like inherently nuanced too, like all get out. But anyway, that was that. It's just been like kind of sort of cooking in my brain, not really. It's just like a bunch of things that I feel like if I seem distracted by the seagulls, it's because I am. A bunch of things that I couldn't or didn't articulate the first time. That's still like also unraveling a little bit. But also, it's near that time. Excuse me. It's near that time of year where it's ending, and it was maybe a few weeks ago. It was a few months ago that I made a video. I tried to go live twice, talking about how my year has been going, and both times it just like cut out and it ended. The first time I was talking for like half an hour, and then I can't remember if somebody said something or what, but then when I watched it back, it was like a super jumpy minute and it completely cut out. But anyway, I feel like this year was the year that my healing caught up to my desires in a way, which caused an explosion of desire. Meaning that, like, if you go back through the history of this channel all the way to like end of 2019, 2020, um, I was like, I want everything and I'm willing to do whatever I need to do to get it. And the whatever I needed to do to get it was a lot. And I'm still doing what I need to do to get it. But I feel like for so long, my ability to receive the everything that I desired, like my capacity to receive, trailed behind my desires. So, like, I wanted more than I was capable of receiving. And that, of course, with everything and just like naturally living life, created an opportunity for learning. And opportunities for learning are lessons, are towers, are uh, suns, moons, stars, the whole 22 yards. I guess technically 21 since the fool. Well, kind of. It counts, right? This is water, by the way. I don't have any alcohol. I came all the way back. Still, I didn't get any meat this time either. It's tragic. I might get some Sunday, but then at that point, it's like I would be leaving. Not that I can't drink it that day, but anyway. Steph, hey, how are you? I'm doing all right. I feel like this is kind of like I feel like I'm doing well. I feel like I am arguably, very arguably, in the best place that I've been in my life, but because the healing has caught up to the desire, now it's like there's so much more that I want, right? Like this is everything that I desire. And this was my capacity to receive in the beginning. And so it's been like slowly increasing, increasing, increasing. But I feel like this year, as it's been like widening, it's met this. And now my, like, now, or maybe it's been like that. And then it feels like all of a sudden it went boom. And now, because of that, like this year, I've felt at different times, specifically within the last half of the year, I felt not that I come short of my desires, but it's just like everything expanded. It's like I was coloring with 8 crayons, and then I got a 64 pack, and I'm like 8 colors just don't like. I want to use the new colors, like, and like I've been coloring like the sky, right? So I've been using different shades of like blues and whites and maybe grays for the daytime and oranges and purples for like dusk or dawn or whatever. But it's like now there's grass, so we're introducing greens, and there's trees, so there's like the browns of the wood and the colors of the leaves, and it's like so this year it's been both motivating and frustrating. But also at the same time, it's been exactly what I wanted. Like, intuitively, I feel like at that point it's kind of hard to like call it intuition. Um, Intuitively, I felt that I would reach a point where I would want to expand farther than my comfort zone. I felt like I would reach a point where I would want to take a leap that would intimidate me. And in order to make it more, in order for me to feel more like I would be able to say yes, I was like, I want this intermediary. Like, and so I did. I took an intermediary, I took an introduction, I guess, position to get my foot in at a company that I would want to work for. I moved out on my own, but like still in my hometown to like get comfortable to readjust to being on my own because I'd lived on my own on campus, but you know, that was when I was still a student. So it was slightly different having like more bills, especially with like when I lived on campus in campus housing at quite a few places. It's like pretty much all of your utilities are included in rent. Like the only thing I had to pay that wasn't included in rent was electric. Hey Zanoni Snowflake, how are you doing? Um, Thanks, Steph. You have too. We all have. But it was like I want this intermediary step so that when it comes in, I know that I'll say yes. Because, and the reason why I really wanted to do that was because the end of 2019, no, the end of 2022, like the beginning of 2022 was so smooth. Like I felt like I had absolutely no regrets from 2019 to most of 2022, and that was the first time in my life I feel that I lived my life in a way that I had no regrets. But then at the end of 2022, I started being introduced to the more that I wanted, but it was still beyond my capacity to receive because I hadn't yet had the experiences to teach me or to show to me. I mean, I kind of did, but it didn't transfer as well um, for the things that I really, really want, for the things that like really matter, like for the big things. I was scared. And I said no to some stuff that I wanted to say yes to. Or I'd say yes, and then after a day, be like, you know what, never mind. Like, no, what if this goes wrong? What if that? Blah, 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 blah. And I kind of like shrunk back into old Patrick. Um, and like, especially at the top of this year, towards the end of the year and at the top of this year, I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to say no to the things that I want to say yes to. Obviously, I want to say yes to the things that I want to say yes to, right? And so, because of that, I didn't have regrets in the way that I used to have regrets because these regrets, like I feel like regret in the past was just it wasn't used for anything. I am currently on UK soil for roughly what time is it? I leave like Monday. So I got a few days. Excuse me. I feel like this is the most dreary it's been ever. Like usually when I come to London, it'll be like a few days like this, or I'll at least have like a few days of like sunshine and like the sky is amazing, the sky is blue, the clouds are white and not like whatever. But it's been like very foggy and like rainy and cold. What is happening? What this seagull is like putting its head down. It's almost like the seagull is putting its ear to the ground. And it's like picking it back up. And now it's kicking its ear. What is happening? Almost like an ostrich, right? They say that ostriches bury their heads. Well, I don't know, first of all, but it's like they bury their heads in the sand to like sense things coming because they can feel the vibrations or whatever. Um, yeah, I know. Last time I was here for like 3 weeks. This time I was here for like 10 days, but it's fine. Thank you. Yeah. So I am in London. So I'm like by the river. At least as far as the sea, I'm not sure. Um, I'm not. I don't know. I don't even know American geography, you know. But I'm in London right now. On the wharf. Um, excuse me. I'm hoping. What day is that? Like Sunday. If I could get clear sky Sunday, because we're gonna be going to see a castle somewhere. Because last time I was here, I think we went. Where were we? Were we in York? I think we were in York, maybe. And they were like, "Oh, there's something here, but if you drive away, like, there's a really great castle." And I was like, "I want to go," and we didn't go. So now I think we're gonna go. And I'm hoping to get some mead when we go to the castle. But anyway, um, yeah. And I guess it's weird because this is like my second time here this year, third time. No, because last year I came end of May, beginning of June. And then this year I came January, February. Now I'm here December. And it'll probably be sometime before I come back. I won't be. Excuse me. It didn't work out this time. I'm sad. I feel like there was a lot of stuff that I wanted to do this time. Not all of it worked out, but of course, it all works out as it's supposed to. But no, it's not looking like I'm going to be able to see Kirsty this time. Not this time. Yes, wine and castles. Da 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 da. Better than a purple. Yes, it is. Fortunately, I'm staying with a friend that has amazing views of the city when it's not foggy. And even that, because the first time I came, I hadn't had my cataracts removed yet. But now when I come here, like I can see, like so far. I am not on my own. Well, today was supposed to be my day, my free day, and I was gonna go. I'm like, I'm fine. I'm so bad at vacationing. I'm like, if I just stay inside and watch um, Disney Plus, it's not Netflix here, it's Disney Plus because my friend has Disney Plus. So if I stay inside and I watch Disney Plus and play video games and just rest, like, that's okay with me. Especially like, because I worked my 4 days and when I got off, I slept for a few hours and then I was on my way to the airport. Um, and so, you know, hello, Sandra. Excuse me. Hey, it's like we're connected. Um, but although it has been more chill this time, my friend has done a good job at making sure I still enjoy it. So, yeah, that's what I'm like. it's doing it again. I'm gonna record it this time. What does this mean? Does this mean the seagull hears something? Let's see, 1 second. Oh, it stopped. Really? Wow. Oh, it's looking sleepy. Okay. Oh, now it looks intrigued. So yeah, that's what this year has been. Um, And it's been interesting because then I come here at the end of the year and I'm talking to my friend, and I don't honestly like. So the first few months of being on my own, I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like, this is what I wanted, right? And I feel like when Venus went retrograde in Leo, that was a very like WTF point in time for Patrick. Patrick was feeling things that he had never felt in his life before. Not really. I mean, kinda. But I feel like it was taken to an extreme that Patrick had never felt in his life before. And then the retrograde ended and things sort of like petered out. And I was like, okay. And so there was a brief moment when I was like, I want more. I want more. Um, excuse me. But now I'm back in that position where it's like I've gotten comfortable with the intermediary and I'm ready to take the leap. And I guess I didn't expect for me to feel this way so soon, but I kind of did because I was going to do a 6 month lease. I ended up signing a year. I was going to do 6 months because I was like, I feel like in 6 months, like anything could happen. And if I have 6 months left on my lease, I'll either have to pay to break it or whatever. Like it'll be confining in some way. And now I'm just like, I don't know, I'm ready to do something drastic, you know? Not necessarily super duper crazy, but for whatever I felt like I needed that intermediary to be for, like I'm ready for what comes next. So that's been my year so far. And I guess the year isn't over yet, right? There are still quite a few days left. Still at least like 2 weeks until, well, Christmas is in less than 2 weeks. 2 weeks and some change left in the year. Excuse me. But anyway, how have y'all been? Oh yeah, especially for you, Steph. It might be. I wish. Um, what Mercury's gonna? I think Mercury's gonna be retrograde for the rest of the year. Venus, what? Mercury enter Capricorn and then went retrograde. Venus is in Scorpio. Venus in Scorpio has been. Venus in Scorpio. I don't know. I feel like that's another thing I've been feeling like lately. Like I wonder if I'm just like weird. I know that I'm weird, and I know that I personally don't subscribe to the we're all the same. Um, like I believe that we're all the same on a like moral ethical level, but in terms of like I very much so believe in individuality. Um, and for me, because I remember like a while ago, before I might have still been in like high school at that point. So we're talking over a decade ago. Because I'm old enough now that high school was over a decade ago. I'm old enough now that my freshman year of college was over a decade ago. Um, but I remember when I was talking to my mom one day and I had a headache, and I was like, the more I focus on my headache, the less it hurts. Like for me, the more I focus on the discomfort, the sooner comfort finds me. And so there have been, I feel like Venus and fixed signs has kind of been effing me up this year a little bit. A little bit. I feel like Venus and fixed signs has been effing me up a little bit. Um, I wonder like on my progress chart, like if my moon is in a fixed sign or something. Anyway, um, well maybe not Venus and Leo, Venus and Scorpio. But anyway, so Venus and Scorpio, there was some things. So at the end of Venus in Leo, after Venus is retrograde, um, things soften back up. Like Venus pre retrograde and Venus retrograde, it was like, and then after that, it was like, it's time to soften back up and be open and whatever. And I was like, I didn't just spend however long and whatever energy to go back to where I was. Excuse me? Like, no, no way. And it took some convincing, and I was like, fine, whatever. But Venus and Scorpio was like, it started intense. And I was like, and an energy of avoidance. And as soon as I faced it, it petered out. But it was like strong. It was strong. And I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, I'm sorry to hear stuff. This morning putting roof in which now. Yes. I'm hoping the same, Tsunami. Glad that they got to it today. What? I didn't even know that, Sandra. Making tumblers and shirts. Yeah, I know. And I guess I just saw on my Instagram one of my friends earlier today. Um, he made a reel and it was called like Joy for the Morning, but with a U. And I was like, did he mean to put a U in morning? And he did, because he was like, the holiday season, for whatever reason, for a multitude of reasons, can be rough for people. I didn't listen to the full thing, but excuse me. Mold killers, vinegar, borax, peroxide, um, and especially like, yeah. But day by day, moment by moment, when we need, I hope that you're getting everything that you need in this time to make it through what you're going through. But yeah, that's been this year. It's fine. Um, it's been interesting. And I don't know how it's going to end. I don't have to know. And actually, I didn't pull a card. So in the past few years, I've pulled a card for every month and then like overalls for the year or whatever. And last year and the year before, so what, for the past 2 out of 4 years? Because I think 2019 was the first year I pulled for. So 19, 20, 21, 22. I didn't do it this year because I was like, I don't like it. I don't like it because I feel like for me, whenever a month comes around, I'm like looking at the card and I'm like, I start to focus on that more than like just living my life, for one. And then when I look at them, I'm like, oh, this might mean one thing, and sometimes maybe, but most of the time it's something completely different. And is it like related to what I thought it would be? Maybe. Can y'all hear him? That seagull is looking right at me. It's facing this way and everything. I don't know, for some reason that seagull is looking like a little eagle. The big one. The one. I feel like that seagull is like bigger than one that I've. Maybe they're just getting older, you know? Older and bigger. Bigger and older. Anyway. Um Thanks, Sandra. Hey, love to hear us now. Oof. Yeah, and it gets like heavy. It gets. I guess when you're ready for the big leagues, when you're ready for the heavy stuff comes, and you're like, oof. You know. That's why also too. I feel like no, you're fine. I feel like it's important that we take our journeys at our own pace. Um, Instead of like, because I feel like, when it's like how the saying, when the student is ready, the master appears. Like when the healer is ready, the ouch appears or surfaces or whatever. Like we don't have to go looking for it or intentionally, always, we don't always have to go looking for it or intentionally like put ourselves in that, because if we're not ready, it can be overwhelming. And even when we are ready, it can still be over. It can still be overwhelming. It's like some things in life. I feel like it's another class of one of those. Like we'll never really be ready um, until we're like in it and working through it. Um, but yeah, this year I feel like also this year, and this has been in the past few months. I feel like there were old beliefs that I was holding on to that were pulling strings, and I didn't quite see how until I did. And then I was like, oh, that makes sense. And I was like, that makes sense. Um, but yeah, this year has been interesting. The first half was pretty chill. The second half, I feel like things have been crammed in, and we'll see. We'll see what next year brings. Because now I'm in a position where I'm really like, I think sometimes I get a little impatient. I've been impatient before. Me being impatient is not new. But I also feel like for the first time, ooh, I'm starting to get a little emotional. But I feel like for the first time, I'm really motivated by dreams and desires. Um, I'm motivated by the things that I want in probably the cleanest way possible, right? So, like I've mentioned before, like in the past, like anger used to be a big motivator for me. Like I would get upset, I would get mad, I would get frustrated, and I'd be like, you know what? I deserve more than this. And to prove it to you and me, I'm gonna go after what it is that I want, because this ain't it. And then like, I get comfortable, and when I get comfortable or when things settle down, it's like nothing happens. But also, it was a few years ago, it was probably about 2020, when I was really like, I don't want, because I'm a pretty decent rage manifester. I feel like I could rage manifest all day. Like if I get mad and I'm like, I want this, then it's like bing 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 bing, then everything's popping up. You know what I mean? And it's like, where were these opportunities when I wasn't this angry? And then I was like, well, maybe that's because when I get like upset, for me personally, when I get upset, like those are probably the few times where I'm all in on one page, where I'm not like waffling, where I'm not like, well, I could do this or I could do that, where I'm not like, yeah, that's a good idea, but I'll do it later. Like I'll procrastinate and then the opportunities pass by, or it's like I want this, I am all in on it, and then it's just like opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. And then I would be like, well, that's not an energy that I want to manifest opportunity from, because if I take an opportunity, that's I don't want to have to stay mad to keep it. You know what I mean? Because ultimately, for Patrick, the end goal is not to be angry and upset. So I don't want. They left. Yeah. Um, that's why it's like I don't want angry and upset to really be the energy that I manifest from. Because again, it's like I don't want to have to stay that way. Um, but I feel like now it's just like a lot of like I want this or I want they're back. They just moved. I want to experience. Oh, those that's a yeah, that's a different goal. That one's got more brown in it. Up and it's gone. Sorry. um, but yeah, this year, especially towards like the middle, in the middle, it spiked. For a few months, it was like smooth, and then it's starting to spike again. Where it's like there are things that I want. No, that's a different goal. It's got that one's got a dark patch, like on its neck. I don't think I've seen one. But now, because I don't see goals with a bunch of dark patches on their neck, if I see that one again, I'll recognize it. Um, okay. Thank you. Right, I could be. I wonder who would. I'll create a whole channel. Um, burger reading. Oh snap! I just started her Virgo reading. I haven't finished it, but I'm glad that he was. Well, I hope it was cathartic. Wait, didn't Zanoni Snowflake just say that? Yeah, there you go. She did. Um, yeah, this year's been it's been interesting to say the least. And I'm a rooster. I'm a rooster booster. My friend was just telling me he was like, because where did we go? I think we went to Brewdog yesterday, and they had poutine on the menu. And I was like, poutine? I've been wanting poutine for over a decade. I wonder what's over here that they just like they walk right up to this window, or is it me? It was just on top where the other seagull was, and then it like flew down and it came up front. Anyway, yeah, it's got a yeah, that has to be a marking because when it put its neck up, the spot like stretched out. Anyway, um, they had poutine on the menu, um, and I was like, I want poutine. I've wanted. If they come up and start pecking at the windows, my friend would be like, "What are you doing?" Um, I feel like there may be like a little ledge, like the birds at my apartment. They just like they fly up on the window, and sometimes they'll peck out the window a little bit, and then they'll fly off. Um, what was I talking about? He was like, "Oh, if you want poutine, like go to Canada." And I was like, "I can't just go to Canada." And he was like, "Why not?" Oh, oh, it's already gone. It's already gone. Oh wow. Um, we got some different bird visitors today. Florida. Um, but yeah, he was like, "I'll go to Canada." I was like, "Okay, fine." You know, I was like, I could eat poutine here, but so Canada has been on the list for me since like 2010. You know, it's been almost 14 years since, I don't want to say Canada's come into my awareness, but it's been almost 14 years since I was like, I want to go to Canada and eat some poutine. Some poutine. But yeah, so let's see. Let's get a card. I'll do the fifth one on the fifth page. One card for Patrick for this year. I'm gonna open this up. Why? That don't make sense. Hold up, what are you doing? Oh, that is the wrong app. I was like, why is this app asking for my location? It's because I was on the wrong app. If we can get, but yeah, this year, let's close on. It's been interesting. Challenged beliefs, long held. So, fifth page, three, four, five. The fifth one, Goddess Love Oracle. Ooh. One card from the Goddess Love Oracle. We'll see. Let's do the fifth card because we're all about fives. Why am I choosing so many fives? I surrender to the changes. 555. The fifth card from the fifth page in the fifth deck. Let's see. The one card is. Let's flip it. Calmness. Let things settle. That's my card for this year. What is that? What is that? Is that a seagull? Is that literally a seagull? Did this literally just give me a seagull? I love it. Okay, cool. Let's read it. Calmness. Let things settle. Life can sometimes be like rolling waves and gusty winds that can leave you either energized or exhausted and windswept. True. Times of great movement and change can be thrilling. A stormy sea will drag away sands and expose treasures hiding just below, and its currents will let new opportunities rise to the surface. But to allow these opportunities to manifest, you need to examine the treasures and quantify the opportunities. Mother Ocean comes to offer you a period of calmness and stillness, a chance to take stock and let things settle. The world around you may be moving at a pace of a roaring tempest, but let your body and mind be still so that you may hear the gentle beating of your own heart, pulsing the calming waves within you, and the voice of Goddess guiding you. Her sacred seal teaches you to reveal your creative talents and let your imagination swim free. The most precious treasure is to be found in the arms of Mother Ocean. You will feel her gift of tranquility seep into the depths of your inner sea, a space that resonates with the very truth of you. Here you know that you are whole, that you are loved, and that you are in exactly the time and space that you need to be right now. Okay, wow, what? Not the seagull popping up, not that seagull, wait. I have an app. I didn't bring any cards with me, Steph, but I have the rock pool app, so I can pick a card for you if you want. Let me get to the back to the beginning. Let me get back to the beginning. There are, so it's 6 decks per page, and there are 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So give me 2 numbers. The first number between 1 and 12, the second number between 1 and 6. And I can pick you from the Rock Pool app on my phone because that's all I got. That's what I got. If you want one. If you don't, then that's fine. 9 and 3. Okay. So the ninth page. I don't know why I turned my phone off. Third third deck on page 9. And then choose a number between 1 and 5. Because it'll bring up like 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The Enchanted Spell Oracle. Ooh. Can I show? Oh, the picture doesn't. Can you pop up? Here it is. You chose 9-3 was the Enchanted Spell Oracle. And then I'll go to start reading. One card. And I'll pick the third one. 1, 2, 3. There's the card back. Let's see. The card you chose is. You ready to flip it? Oh, it already flipped. Clarity. Ooh. I got clarity. This says, oh, it's number 4. It's another number 4. The last card was number 4. Focus, goals, and life purpose. Rosemary, Rosmarinus officinalis. The astringent herbaceous notes of rosemary help to encourage mental clarity and a sharp mind. Rosemary is often used in spells to aid successful study and excellent concentration. In 1649, the famous botanist Culpeper described rosemary as quick and piercing and assured that a little goes a long way. Rosemary revives and helps our memory. It is refreshing, healing, and clean. On a metaphysical level, rosemary helps us to complete our spiritual responsibilities here on earth. And the symbolism of the card, the priestess of clarity stands confident and focused beneath a healing herb wheel. The botanicals represented are rosemary, chamomile, echinacea, ginger, St. John's wort, and thyme. These herbs have stood the test of time as some of the most versatile and useful botanicals Mother Nature has provided us. Medieval symbols for protection against self-doubt surround the priestess, and her wings symbolize that she is a spiritual as well as earthly being. The Scottish Gaelic words Gleesblath, which translate to wise flower, feature in this image. I probably butchered that. The divination of this card. When the priestess of clarity appears, it is time for absolute focus. You may have a big undertaking ahead of you that needs your full attention. Break tasks into small, achievable goals. Write down every single step you need to accomplish to take your goal. Or every single step you need to take to accomplish your goal. If easily distracted, the judicious use of a timer to allow yourself productive time and rest time throughout the day may help. Attempt 20 minutes of uninterrupted work or study, then alternate with 20 minutes of uninterrupted me time. Play with the times and see what works. You will be amazed at how much you can achieve with just these small amounts of focused time. Consider that each step toward your goal is a step toward fulfilling your life purpose here on earth. Rosemary Posy. Harness the freshness of rosemary to make this little nosegay. This herbal posy aids clear thought and is the perfect study buddy to have at your desk while you work. Gather 7 generous sprigs of rosemary and wash them well. Tie them together into a small bouquet with a beautiful emerald green ribbon. Crush the leaves periodically to set free the herbaceous tang, stimulating your mind to release dull and puffy thoughts and allowing you to achieve your best. Lads, I think, is rosemary connected to remembrance? Because Bayonetta wore rosemary. Maybe not. Rosemary for remembrance? Why is rosemary a symbol of remembrance? This plant was in ancient times supposed to strengthen memory. Greek scholars wore rosemary in their hair to help remember their studies, and the association with remembrance has carried through to modern times. Oh. that. Like when I hear remembrance, I mean, because it helps with memory, I always thought it was something different. It is used in our folklore. It is used to show friendship, purification, happiness, and remembrance. Thrown into open graves, so dead and put in their way. So remembrance, clarity, and like it said, like taking stuff day by day, breaking it down into small steps, and realizing that like you're always moving towards your destination. And it's the help from being distracted. So, oof. Hopefully, and then I was like, oh, steps to Virgo, right? So like she can break stuff down because it's connected to memory. Yes, you can. And with some of these, I'm like, oof, you know. This is a little app on my phone, so we in real. I mean, we're always in take it as it resonates territory, but we're really in take it as it resonates territory now. You said the sixth. Oh no, no, I do not want to buy this deck, please. The sixth of the sixth of the sixth. Oh, it was the spinning wheel. I'm like, what deck is this? Why is it spinning? So the sixth page. One, two, three, four, five, six. The sixth deck is the mystical healing. We'll give it a second, the image to pop up. No problem, Steph. When like Rosemary, so my association with Rosemary is Bayonetta, which is a video game about a witch who, um, she's an Umbra witch who was sealed away for like 500 years, and then she comes like back, and she doesn't have her memory. She doesn't remember like who she is or like where she comes from, but she wore like a rosemary perfume. And one of the characters was like, "It's ironic that you wear rosemary when you can't even remember like who you are." Um, but for some reason, like when I think remembrance, like I think not necessarily like, yeah, it's memory, but um, yeah, it's fine. Okay, so the mystical healing reading cards for Zanoni Snowflake. This is your deck. This was the sixth of the sixth. So, oh wait, there's only five cards, so we'll go back to the first, right? Or we're gonna exit and then we're gonna come back. I don't know how these work. So that's the card back. I love how it's like two of them because you can see the card. Now there's three cards and you can see the reflection of it. Do 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 do. Can we get it to four? Maybe not. Your card, Zanoni Snowflake, is. What's that? Access clear thinking. It's all about clarity today, apparently. Access clear thinking. This is card number one. Develop objective thinking about your situation and find the best solution. To think deeply about something, you have to develop your powers of concentration and allow yourself the time to connect all the pieces of your inner puzzle together. Profound thinking requires you to ask important questions, such as how much time and energy do I have available during the day? And am I using my time in the most constructive ways possible? What is the most important thing to focus on today? You are being presented with some important decisions. This card asks you not to jump to conclusions based on your emotions. Instead, take the time to look at all the options and points of view available. Through this type of thinking, you will activate your highest intuitive faculties and will discover a new way to do things, a way you have not yet thought of. You are also being called to divide your thinking between everyday affairs as well as higher spiritual truths, which require you to expand your thinking into multidimensional thinking. Action, because this is a thing this deck has. Make a list of what is important for you to deeply think about and do. Take some time to meditate on how you can organize your day, week, month in a more optimal way. If you need to make an important decision, try to look at it from several points of view. The more you can look at a situation from a higher point of view as opposed to an emotional reaction, the more capacity you will have to discover the most effective, efficient outcome. I love how, like, this seems so logical, but there was just a sprinkle of the intuitive. Through this type of thinking, you will activate your highest intuitive faculties and will discover a new way to do things, a way you have not yet thought of. And it looks like, I don't know, it looks to me like, oh, see, that's why. So she's holding the ball of yarn. This is very, what's her name? Ariadne? This is very Ariadne because so she's holding the ball of yarn or thread, and you can see it trailing back here to the maze, the labyrinth. But with the checkerboard pattern on the floor, it makes me think of the high priestess. And she is kind of like tucked behind this wall. And then it's like the same thread that she's, or the same cloth linen that she's holding in her hands. It's like her undershirt is made of the same material. So again, it feels like this plays on that higher intuitive faculty because it's like the whole time you're navigating the labyrinth, it's this high priestess energy that's holding the thread. And then also she has like these little Hermes Mercury wings on her head. Because I feel like, when I see, there are a few depictions of Mercury Hermes, where he has the wings on his head and on his boots, on his sandals. I know what Mercury just retrograded Capricorn, but I think there is also something about perspective here because this maze, it feels like this behind her is this same maze, but it's almost like if you could look at it from this perspective, it would be easier to solve the labyrinth rather than being in it. I don't know. Access clear thinking. So this deck is, what was it? Let me try to go back. Mystical Healing. Mystical Healing Reading Cards by Ina Segal. That was this deck. Oh, snap. Who is this on the box? Can we zoom in? We can't even zoom in. We can't even zoom in because there's some lady on the box that's got the same blue and the fabric. Looks like it's connected to a key. Wow. Doesn't it? Okay, anyway, there you go, Zanoni Snowflake. Oh, snap. I didn't even know that. No problem. I did the checkerboard. Oh, look, the seagull's back. I didn't even notice the checkerboard tail of the seagull. Okay, where's Sandra? You want one of these, Sandra? Really? Yeah, I got. I forget what deck I got, but there was a insert for the Rockpool Oracle app. I was like, okay, I downloaded. Why not? I went to the astrology store, the astrology shop, like real quick, but there wasn't a deck that like called out to me this time. And I was gonna go back today, but ZZ Factory closed. So, like the first time I came to London, I had a chocolate croissant from I had two of them, and it was amazing. That was what 2018, probably 2019, I think. The first time I came was 2018. No, yeah, so it was 2018 because I was close, but I didn't finish, and it pushed me back another year. I remember. So the first time I came in 2018, there was E, and the chocolate croissants were amazing. And then I came back in like 2021, I think the end of 2021, and they were gone. There were no more eats, and I was sad. And then I found ZZ Factory because my friend was like, "There's a place around here that I know that you'll love," and I was like, I was skeptical, but I did love it. He knows me better than I would care to admit most of the time. Um, and then I came back this time, and they're closed. They were open at the beginning of the year. They closed in October. I was sad. I was like, wow, that's literally the whole reason that I exist at this very moment is for that sexy French waffle. But because he knew that I was bummed about that, we tried to find a chocolate croissant. And the one from Pratt didn't do it for me. But Waitrose had a chocolate croissant that was pretty good. And then I went back the next day to get another chocolate croissant, and they didn't have any. She was like, "Oh, we have pain au chocolat." I was like, "I don't want pain au chocolat. I want my chocolate croissant." So anyway. Yes, okay. Give me a number between 1 and 12, and then another number between 1 and 6, and then another number between 1 and 5. And we'll see what the Rockpool Oracle has in store for you. So far, the theme is clarity of thought. One in remembrance, another in. I don't know, that's still interesting to me. How it was so. And I feel like it was also depicted again in the card, how it was so focused on like logic, but then there was a strong hint of the intuitive. 7, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, yours is the Goddess Dream Oracle. Wait for the image to load. There you go. The Goddess Dream Oracle. And start reading one card. The third card is this one. Let's see who it is. Wait for the image to load. There you go. There's the card back. Oh, this time I get the whole phone. Isn't it interesting? Because I was like here for like ever playing with the images. I was like, let's see if we can get four cards, and then like the labyrinth came out, like, but not a mirror. Anyway, it's fine. So let's see. Let's see. Abundance. Number one, 4411. Count your blessings. See the butterflies and like the daisies. Count your blessings. Care or Kerr, goddess of the harvest, comes into your life with unbounded generosity. With her totem deer, she brings kindness and peace. She may be here to help you reap your own harvest. Perhaps a project or life choice may be coming to fruition. Or maybe she has come to bring you sustenance at a time when you are feeling empty. Her embrace and compassion will fill you up. She encourages you to recognize all that you have in your life. Be grateful for all the blessings she bestows upon you. You may like to start a gratitude journal and write down 5 things you have been grateful for during the day before you go to sleep each night. Treasure all that is good in your life and give thanks. Abundance will manifest in your life when you live in a state of gratitude. Mother Goddess Kerr brings you the gifts of nurturing and caring. She asks that you nurture and care for yourself, all living beings, and the beautiful planet that is your home. Care is the salve that may heal and mend, while nurturing is the honoring of life to bring it to its full potential. Bountiful Mother Goddess is here to bring abundance into your life. Count your blessings and give thanks. Affirmation: I am grateful for all the blessings in my life. I nurture and care for myself, all living beings, and the environment. Boom. I guess I could have showed. Well, for. I didn't have to scroll as much on this one. I didn't show anybody else, like, if you wanted to take a screenshot. So I guess you could rewatch it. True story. What is. That's Soulmate, Lizzo. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, there's the deer. There's the deer there. There's the cornucopia there, the butterflies and the flowers, like the wheat. This to me is interesting because it's almost very like Demeter Carey's energy. And we're heading into winter time. We're heading into the time where Persephone is spending time with Hades and her mother is throwing a fit. Sorry, let me be more respectful. She's mourning the loss of her daughter. And in her mourning, the whole planet suffers, basically. Oh, it's back. I can tell that's the same seagull because it has the mark on its neck. That's interesting. Because I literally said, if I see that one, I'll know because of the mark on its neck. And it just came back. Okay, Steph. What does that mean? Something's coming back? I mean, I didn't expect to see it again now. I thought, oh, next time I come, and who knows how long that'll be. If I see that same seagull, I'll know. It's like coming back around early. Which is interesting because I almost wonder if, because I was just talking about Persephone and Charis Demeter, right? And it's like, well, Persephone is with Hades, so it's interesting to see a goddess of abundance. I mean, and different cultures would have different times associated with abundance for whatever reason, however, abundance culturally comes to them or finds them. With Charis being a goddess of grain, that abundance, sort of the abundance of grain, shrivels up in the winter because it's so cold. Um, but it's almost like if Persephone is gone and Demeter is still Demetering, then it's like maybe she found somebody else, you know what I mean? Or maybe something else is keeping her mood. Maybe something else is balancing her mood. Or maybe something else is tempering her mourning so that abundance can continue to find us even in the wintertime. Interesting, interesting, interesting. I don't know. I have no clue. Is it really? I didn't know that. Reams of Sagittarius. But that's the opposite of Gemini. And it did say, like, whether the abundance is for something that you've been working on or whether it's coming to find you in a time of need. I don't know, something about something coming back around quicker than you may think. Maybe there's like something that you invested in and like you thought or you were thinking it would be however long of an investment, but it returns the ROI. I feel like an ROI is like a dollar sign or a percentage in less than like a time, but I don't know, it comes back sooner. I am a Pisces. Boom, 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 boom. Pisces. Boom, 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 boom. Pisces. Boom, 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 boom. I need to use the restroom. Oof. Technical analysis. I am a wolf. Oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. Thank you. That actually does make a lot of sense. And not just because it makes sense. It makes sense. Sandra's a Scorpio. What's the animal for Scorpio? That's interesting. Oh, the seagull is gone. Let's see. Let's open up the Astro Matrix and get 3 cards. Because why not? Now we get the full tarot deck. Let's introduce a little tarot. Let's do a collective general. I gotta use the restroom. I gotta potty. I'll try to get through this. Scorpio is the snake. I see it. It's interesting that you posted the eagle for Scorpio because the eagle is a creature associated with Scorpio, but it's the snake in Native American astrology. But the eagle and the snake is like, chaos and order. And if anything is more chaos and order, maybe Gemini. I feel like in the twinness of Gemini, it would make sense. But outside of Gemini, Scorpio would be chaos and order. Because they could be either. I'm just playing. I love Scorpio. Scorpio is my descendant. I'm a Taurus rising. So let's see. We're gonna. Oh, we are going to ask Google to give us a number between. So the first page, first deck, first card would be 111. And the 12th page, 6th deck, 5th card would be 1,265. So, hey Google, give me a random number between 111 and 1,265. I don't think Google heard.
1,178.
1,178. So that doesn't work. We're going to do another one because that would be 11, which does work, and then 7, and then 8. Yeah, Steph is a Virgo. I'm like very, very certain Steph is a Virgo. Is it really? See, I knew that Pisces was associated with ash because I got something. And it was talking about trees associated with Zodiac and the Celtic something. And then I saw Ash. It was in my period of getting all of the Ash synchronicities when the Fruma kept throwing Ash at me. And then I got an Ash cologne in my Scentbird subscription. And I got something else that was Ash. And I was like, okay. And then it said Ash is Pisces. I was like, okay, yeah, I see it. But the snake, St. Patrick's Day is in Pisces season, and he was associated with snakes. Um, let's do another one. Hey Google, generate a number between 111 and 1265.
I found this on the web.
Hey Google, give me a random number between 111 and 1265.
Here's a random number, 567.
567, so close. The 5 works, the 6 works, but the 7 doesn't work. Now, on the third time, we're just going to make it work. Hey Google, give me a number between 111 and 1265.
1259.
Oh, the 9 doesn't work, but we're going to make it work. So, actually, we can make this work. So, it's page 12, and it's the 4th card of the 6, because 5 goes up to 5, and then the next one would be 6, and then we go 4 cards in. Not Shazam. I feel like there's an energy I've been feeling lately. I forget what it is. All right, let's see. Oh, it's almost 4 o'clock, meaning 77. Oh, wow. See, in America, when I go live on my iPad, on my laptop in America, it gives me hours, minutes, seconds. Over here, it's 77:22, 77 minutes, 22 seconds. We're going to see. This is just me attempting to be resourceful. Oh, yeah, I know a lot of people don't, but I don't know. I love technology. You know, I try to, wow. There isn't even, on the last page, there's only 4. So we're just going to go for the last one. And it's the World Animal Dreaming deck. I wanted something collective. My Mercury is in Pisces, believe it or not. The World Animal Dreaming Oracle Cards by Scott Alexander King. This is for the collective. Look at the tiger, already loving it. And then we're going to go for card number 5. Ooh, I got a potty. I got a potty. Potty. Ooh, look at that card back. Interesting. Love it. Oh my gosh, not the gazelle. Not the gazelle. Why? Happy belated birthday to a very, very, very special and important Sagittarius to me and all of you, I'm sure. The rare gazelle. Okay, it's an antelope, but still. It's an antelope, but still, you know, basically a gazelle. Let's go. Let's go. And it's number 1. Okay. Antelope, radiance. The antelope is sacred to Astarte, the Middle Eastern goddess of balance, holding death and destruction in one hand and birth and regeneration in another. Known as Hathor or Hathor in ancient Egypt, and Demeter in ancient Greece, her name means Queen of the Stars. Known as who in ancient Greece? Does that literally say Demeter? Does that literally say Demeter right there? Oh my gosh, what is happening? Okay. Astarte, known as Hathor in ancient Egypt and Demeter in ancient Greece, her name means Queen of the Stars. The star energy came out for Virgo, and the shooting stars came out in her birthday collective reading yesterday. Astarte watches over the souls of the departed, cladding them lovingly in robes of light and calling them her star children. Astarte's horns resemble those of the antelope. Like Astarte, the antelope is a guide, a source of light that showers optimism and inspiration down upon the people. In fact, it could be said that Astarte is the spirit of the morning star that holds the light during an otherwise dark and confusing night. If the antelope has pronged her way into your cards today, you are being reminded that no matter what happens in your life, Spirit will always provide a guiding light, a symbol of hope, and a way of leading you out of the darkness. This darkness is very much like nighttime. All things seem difficult and more overwhelming when the world is dark and everyone is asleep. And that's because there's nothing you can do to bring closure to a situation or heal the issues surrounding it. Your hands are tied. You are forced to sit and wait for the sun to rise, for clarity to return, and for an opportunity to present that allows you to do something about it. When the morning star shines through your window, banishing the darkness and lighting up your room, Antelope asks that you see the light as a sign of affirmation that heralds radiant new beginnings and the dawn of a new day. The Aksunare? Maybe Aksunare, maybe not. But the dawn of a new day heralds radiant new beginnings and the dawn of a new day. In order for anything to be born, any project to start, or any new relationship to begin, though some aspects of your life must be allowed to die, old doors must shut before new ones open, and it is the antelope who steps up to the mark and helps channel the process with the simple promise that everything will work out for the best. Wow, antelope number 2, love it. Wait, why does it say 1 on this side but 2 on the other side? Antelope giving us you don't know me energy. Antelope giving us all kinds of. Look at that. Beautiful. Now we're going to get 3 cards from the Astrometrics Tarot. I'm just going to go to a reading and get 3 tarot cards. And then we're going to try to work it through. Technology is hopefully my friend today. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Maybe, maybe not. Astrometrics said, I'll think about it. Ooh, 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 ooh. Title Radiant Heart. What? Is it really? There we go. We're in here. We're in here like swimwear. Tarot reading. 3 cards. We're just going to go for it. So the first card is the Ace of Swords. Wait. Not the Ace of Swords. Not me not even being able to get the full card. There's ads. This video isn't sponsored by anybody. Ace of Swords is the first card. Second card is the Page of Wands. Speaking of a page 2.0. Look at the Page of Wands go. And the third card is the Knight of Wands. There's our, minor strength? Pre-strength. There's pre-strength energy. It was Hanuman in the Spencer's Tarot cards. That Knight of Wands actually came out. It was the 7 of Swords, the Knight of Wands, and the 2 of Swords, I believe. Because it came out with the 2 of Swords, and then the High Priestess was next to the 7 of Wands. No problem. So, Ace of Swords, Page of Wands, Knight of Wands. Why did I close this? With that gazelle. With a gazelle. Gazelle, yeah. With the antelope. Oops, I flipped it back over. The Ace of Swords. Excuse me, it's giving me clarity from confusion. Like this mass of clouds feels like a representation of confusion. And then out of that comes this hand holding the Ace of Swords. Right? So it's almost like, it honestly feels like there's something that's very like chaotic. There's something that's read as chaotic, but it's almost like a Vincent Van Gogh Starry Night, but if you were inside of the painting rather than like looking at it, and how it's like lots of like whooshy, swirly. If my recollection of the, speaking of remember, it's Rosemary. If my recollection of the painting is correct, it's like very like whooshy and swirly, but it's almost like all of these things happening at the same time. Everything happening at once is like a symphony. It's like somehow it all completes a picture, but it's not, unless you get some distance from it, that it makes it easy to see or easier to see. Like with the fog, right? If the fog comes in thick, and it was super thick one day, I couldn't even see some of the buildings like right across. That one day I went live in the fog, and that, what was that? Those who navigate the labyrinth before the fog lifts will find themselves in a space of mastery, or whatever that was back then. Um, it's like you don't see it when it's like muted or silenced, but if it all were to come into play and not be obscured at all, to be in it would to be probably overwhelmed. But again, there's just something about being able to see something in its fullness when everything is happening at once. And then that gives us the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands feels like a realization. Uh, like the Ace of Swords is the acknowledgement. The Ace of Swords is the introduction to something new, some kind of new information. But it feels like the actual realization happens at the Page of Wands. It's like the Ace of Swords is like, okay, I see it. Like, I don't know what this means, but I see it. Like, I'm starting to see it. This Page of Wands is like, oh, like that's that, oh, I don't know. Like that, like when it clicks, when it finally clicks, and you're like, oh, like I see how like I see how it plays out. Like, because before when you just told me, like, it didn't, like, it made sense to me, but I couldn't see how, like, but now, like, I actually see it in motion. I'm like, oh my gosh, it makes so much sense. Okay. And then with the Knight of Wands, it feels like this is um, this is us being able to, like, do something with that information. Like, this Page of Wands is that aha moment, is the realization. It's almost like we get a new understanding of the world that is more complete than the one we had before. But that Knight of Wands is sort of like how we move through it differently. How we move through it differently because we now know all of this here, right? So, in the midst of the chaos and confusion, we get clarity. And then after we get that clarity, we see the whole thing as like from the big picture viewpoint. But after we see things from a big picture viewpoint, with this clarity, we get to decide to navigate through it. We get to move through it differently. And that's this Knight of Wands. How we move with the knowledge and the realization, but with the understanding that, like, we're still in it, if that makes sense. And that's all coming out to clarify the antelope, that Astarte energy. The Morning Star, Ace of Swords. Oh my gosh, I should have known. The one that provides clarity in times of darkness. Uh, the goddess of balance, holding death and destruction in one hand and birth and regeneration in the other. So it's very much that. It's almost like with an understanding of why something is happening, it allows us to move more efficiently through it. Right? So, like, let's say that before the Ace of Swords revelation, I don't know, before the Ace of Swords, clarity. There you go. It's like maybe there's something that we're doing and we can't figure out why it's not working out, right? But then with the Ace of Swords, it's like we get a whole bunch of background information that, like, we know that it's factual, but we don't have necessarily the context as to like how it's helpful or useful. Then at the Page of Wands, aha moment, it's almost like, let's say that we are intuitively or not, we want to go into the business of making dolls. Um, and if it is intuitive, it's probably more frustrating. But it's just like we're making these dolls and we can't figure out like why they're not selling. And then, like, let's say the Ace of Swords is a bunch of like, this is the market. And the Ace of Swords might even be affirming. Like, the Ace of Swords could be like, yeah, like, studies show that there is a not so niche population of people who have an interest in this, whatever, and portable people like things that they can dress up. And you're like, well, I'm making dolls, which are portable people like things that you can make clothes for. Like, I am, like, am I not feeling this niche? And then there's even more information, and then there's something about like plastic and how they're moving away from a certain type of plastic and towards a new type of plastic. The realization of the Page of Wands would be like, oh, like, so it's not the doll that's bad, it's what I'm making the doll out of. Like, there's this shift away from this specific kind of plastic. So if I am trying to go into business using this plastic, like, that's why I'm failing. Like, the Page of Wands is where the realization comes in and the pieces connect. And then the Knight of Wands in that situation would be, okay, like, let me switch up what I'm making these dolls out of. And then it's like they sell like hotcakes because you're filling a niche. And the Astarte, that's the balancing destruction and regeneration. It's like the plastic use is in an energy of destruction. Plastic use is degrading, it's decaying. And that's why success wasn't found when plastic was the medium through which you were accomplishing a vision. And then whatever this plastic substitute is on the growth as the replacement, as the substitute for that plastic. Also on the growth is the fulfillment of whatever that need is that, like, the collective has that you were meeting. And like, I don't know, like, plastic is the metaphor that came to my mind, and I'm trying to find a way to use plastic. And I was like, dolls, because why not? If that makes sense, it's like there's something about us that's teetering on that destruction and regeneration. But when we're on the destructive side of it and we don't know why, that's, it's almost like that's why or how certain things can be like played out because of the way that something is shifting. But again, with the information and the context that leads to a realization, that Knight of Wands at the tail end of it can navigate themselves differently through the market or through life. And then it's like, okay, and then you like play towards the energy that's waxing rather than continuing to wade through the energy that's waning. If you can, take it as it resonates, it's it's app cards. But anyway. Oof. See, sometimes when I read it back, I'm like, wait. You know what I mean? Yeah. But anyway, that, 9444 on the clock. It's time for me to go. My buddy should be closing out his workday. No, you never have to apologize. You never, ever, never have to apologize. Hey, Holly, how you doing? I'm just like, It's probably something that'll like it'll sit in my brain and then it'll like hit, you know. Please never apologize to me for going deep because I'm a Pisces. My Mercury's in Pisces in the 12th house. You know, I love it. Sometimes I'm just like, you know, maybe there's like greater harmonies. Oh, try. I can be the same in a lot of ways, but I always appreciate it, even if I'm like, oof, you know, that's a good oof. That's a like the brain being expanded in good ways. So there we go. I think that's it. I think that's what I got. The sun is proper setting now, and it's what time is it? 4:11. This is 4:11. I feel like I'm reading by candlelight almost. You know. Oh well, if I take my glasses off, not so much. I don't know. I feel like there's like a light down here that's like flickering on my face. You know, the quality of this video just took a dive. But that's fine. Now I can go to the restroom. So yeah, and then Kirsty was saying that like it gets dark at like 3 there. I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, it's so pretty lit at 3. But at home, I think it gets dark about 5. But I'm pretty sure I'm more north here than I am when I'm back in the States. Then when I'm back in the States, I have no clue. Honestly. I feel like she's in the north for some reason. I feel like she's up north. But yeah, so that's what I got. Thank y'all for being here. I hope y'all thank you. I almost said Kirsty. You hear Kirsty? I'm just playing. Zanoni and Sandra and Steph and Holly. Um, and I will catch y'all probably when I'm back home. Because these next few days are going to be not packed, but oof, I don't know why I just drank that water. I got to go to the bathroom. All right. I'll catch you all later. I hope you're taking it as it resonates, if it resonates, when it resonates. Again, these were all app cards. But I mean, you know, besides me talking about my year, I don't even, what card came out for my year? When I was like, I'm going to get it one card. What card was it? I don't even remember. I have to watch this back. All right, bye. Whew. I can't, I can't make a mess, and not my house. I mean, I try not. I don't make messes in my own home. I know how to go to the restroom and end the stream. Okay, I'm not gonna